Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to Mindset Live. I am your host, Professor Nez, and this is a show where we talk about practical tools you can implement right this second to end the psychological torture of the eternal doubter, the guy that lives inside your brain so you can get out of your own way. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you're really well. This is sort of an impromptu. And today I wanted to talk about You Are the Sky is the title of this broadcast. And I want to talk about mindsets. Mindsets. It's all about mindsets. And thank you for joining me. It means everything to me. Thank you guys for coming on in. Please feel free to share and invite your followers if you're interested in talking about Mindset Live. The one thing that gets in your way, the only thing in the entire universe that gets in your way. And the title of this broadcast is You Are the Sky. What in the world does that mean, Professor Nez? What does You Are the Sky even mean? I don't even understand what that... Can you please explain that? The ephemeral nature of things. Okay, we talk about self-awareness. We talk about knowing who you are. We talk about anxiety. We talk about fear. We talk about suffering. We talk about all of these things on this show. And I think this episode is going to blast them all. I think this is going to be the episode. This is going to be the one. Let me know how the audio's coming in. Let me know how everything is. If you don't mind commenting, we are live. I'm going live. Very impromptu. I didn't even announce this on Snapchat or Instagram. But I had to do it. So sometimes I think that it's beautiful, this medium. It kind of takes on, it manifests in very different ways. Sometimes you just feel the urge. Sometimes you just have to do it. And I want to talk about what I mean by this, because we're hearing a lot about mindfulness. We're hearing a lot about life coach. We're hearing a lot about life strategy. We're hearing a lot about meditation, methods to success, 3 keys to success. And I talked about in the last episode how, I don't feel that these quick fixes, I don't feel that really they're benefiting you at all. And maybe has anybody really explained this to you? When I say you are the sky, this is about understanding the ephemeral nature. And I know you guys know what that means, all you Snapchatters out there. Ephemeral, things that come and go. How we identify with our successes. We identify with our failures. How we identify with the way we look. We identify with our age. We identify with our body, right? Well, I'm a fat person. I'm a thin person. I'm a this person. How we identify with these ephemeral qualities of nature, of who we are. Okay, these ephemeral qualities and these ephemeral characteristics, okay, they're just byproducts really of who we are, and how that creates problems. So anchored in reality, practical. You don't have to go sit in the Himalayas. You don't need to, start buying vegan products and, start chanting and lighting candles. Very practical. I like to bring this shit home. I like to bring it right down to the earth so we can talk about this and you can implement this strategy today. Who are you? How do you identify yourself? How do you understand what is the real truth of what your being is? What is the real truth? Your core to the core. This goes back thousands and thousands of years, and it's all about self-inquiry. It's all about self-investigation, which is what this show is all about. Self-investigation. Who are you? And why is that important? And what are you identifying with? If you're identifying with the temporary things in your life, if you're identifying with, especially if you want to be somebody who's independent and somebody who's an entrepreneur or somebody who wants to work for themselves and create something and innovate, right? I see a lot of people talking about failure. I know Puff Daddy just did a recent speech that I saw that was kind of going viral, talking about if it wasn't for failure, he wouldn't be successful. What in the world does that mean? My kind of sort of advocacy today, my sort of thesis today, you are the sky, is to understand what's really behind all of those ephemeral qualities. And I can't tell you who you are. Nobody can. I'm not trying to do this. I'm just trying to talk about, excuse me, and discuss what are the practical, effective, beneficial tools that you can use to get yourself out of your own way and really just really enjoy this thing called life. Start to dance with this thing called life. You watch what happens when you stop identifying with ephemeral, the things that come and go. Your age, your looks, your money in your bank account, your successes, good days, bad days, night, day, right? Bad accidents, good accidents, happenings, things that are coming and going, the ephemeral nature. What is behind all of that? I heard Jewel on Gary Vaynerchuk's latest Ask Gary V show talk about you are the observer. But what does that mean, you are the observer? This goes back thousands of years. Siddhartha, otherwise known as Buddha, talked about this. The Stoics talked about this. Rumi and Hafez, the great Sufi masters, talk about this. Great Taoist masters, Lao Tzu and Chuangzi, talked a lot about this. And one of the greatest sort of, I don't want to say gurus, but spiritual sort of leaders talked about this. Ramana Maharshi talked about this in the early part of the 20th century. And it's just self-investigation. The beautiful thing is it's so practical. The beautiful thing, even Sam Harris talks a lot about, kind of the ephemeral nature of the mind and what we identify with and the fact that you are consciousness. You are the sky. You are the sky, and you need to discover this for yourself. You are the sky. What does that mean exactly? So feelings, sensations, good moods, bad moods, thoughts, who you are, thoughts of who you think you are, those are like clouds that come and go. Those are like clouds that come and go in the sky. You are the sky. Those clouds, those thoughts would have no existence. They wouldn't be able to manifest. They wouldn't have a space to exist if it wasn't for you. So think about this for a second. And again, don't take my word for it. You need to investigate this for yourself. Don't take my word. Hey, Sean, how are you? All right, Sean's here on YouTube Live. I'll just type something real quick. How's it coming through, Sean? Is it coming through okay? Let me just find out. I want to make sure that this is coming through okay. Let me know, okay, Sean, if it's coming through okay. Very impromptu, but I've been seeing a lot. I've been observing a lot, and I had to come on. I didn't even advertise this, didn't even promote this. I just jumped on here. I actually have to go real quick because I've got a meeting. Hey, Luis, so good to see you, Luis. All right, Luis is in the house. So, all these thoughts, all these sensations, your age, all of these things come and go. But what doesn't come and go? There's no magic pill. There's no antidepressant. There's no TV show. There's no live broadcast that's going to solve all your problems. There's no guru. No such thing as a guru. Okay, there's teachers, there's pointers, and I hope to be a pointer as well. Just a reminder of things that you already know. To me, that's what every great leader, from Jesus Christ to Steve Jobs, that's what every great leader, okay? If you remove all the dogma from religion, and I respect everybody's belief system. I have no judgment here. There's not one molecule of judgment in this system here. I'm not judging anybody, but to me, if you remove all the dogma and all the tightness and stiffness that can sometimes surround religion and people's belief systems, and isn't it funny? You ever notice how really the most, compelling, honest, full of integrity and dignified leaders, spiritual leaders, and corporate leaders and whatnot, they have an amazing sense of lightness about them. They have an amazing sense of laughter. They laugh a lot. They don't take themselves seriously. They really don't. And it's only when any thought, any belief system gets really tight, okay, it gets stuck in your sky, that it really starts to take over and eat at you, right? So This idea, and Rumi talks about this, who is the one looking behind your eyes? Who is the one looking? As I mentioned earlier, Jewel talked about you are the observer. And I wanted to just kind of discuss this a little bit. I wanted to just kind of talk about that because this is something that it can't be so mystifying. It's not woo-woo. You don't have to wear robes and light incense. This is something very practical and it's so amazingly beneficial. If this show has any value, Mindset Live, my YouTube live show, I'm on Facebook as well. But if this show has any value, it's gotta be practical, and it has to be something that you can apply and get value from today, right this second. Not tomorrow, not 5 years from now, not maybe when you grow up or get older, but something today. So you can just sit, turn off your machines for 5 minutes, 6 minutes, investigate. What is temporary? What is not temporary? What is allowing the temporary to exist? A thought. I'm fat. I'm a failure. I'm not good enough. I'm too good. I'm the king. I'm superior. A thought cannot exist without you. But you can exist without a thought. So which is the greater? You decide. A thought cannot live without you, consciousness, without you being there first. So which is greater? Misidentification. You are the sky. You're not the clouds that come and go. You're not the thoughts. You're not the feelings. You're not the moods. You're not the good days. You're not the bad days. You're not the good times. You're not your anger. You're not your belly, your spare tire. Those things come and go. And if you really, really want to get 10x deep, if you really want to cut to the core of the core of the core, and by the way, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. You investigate for yourself. That's what this show is all about. This show is not about me saying do this and everything will be great, tomorrow, or you practice this and everything's going to be peachy, or 3 keys to living ultimate happiness, right? Don't take my word for it. You investigate for yourself. Misidentification. Investigate for yourself. So you are the sky. You're identifying this misidentification. And again, if you really, really want to get 10x, if you really want to get to the core of the core, you're even bigger than life and death. You're even bigger, than the concept of time. You are truly the eternal one, the one who was here from the beginning, with no middle, no beginning, and no end. That's really something that you have to experience. None of these pointings are theoretical. This is not theory. None of these teachings, and by the way, this doesn't come from me. I'm not original. Professor Nez is not original. There's nothing. Yes, thank you, Luis. Great comment. Thank you. People don't take the time to know themselves. Absolutely. None of these teachings are theoretical. They must be experiential. Okay? I am a writing professor. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I have 200 students every semester. And I constantly love to share and inspire. That's what I love to do, right? As soon as you know who you are not, as soon as you understand where you've been placing your attention, and you've been placing your attention in things that are ephemeral, that are temporary, you start to find out, forget about belief. This is even beyond belief. It's beyond any kind of sort of belief. This is nothing you have to believe. You don't even have to use your imagination. Okay, I need to believe in this. No. This is something that's here right this second. You can wake up today. You can wake up right this very second. Take the time to just close your eyes, take a few minutes, spend some time alone in solitude. Solitude is a great gift. I talked about that in a previous episode. And discover what's temporary, what comes and goes, and what doesn't come and go. Practical, reality-based pointings. And this goes back thousands and thousands of years. Way before Christ, way before the Stoics, way before the Greeks. This goes back thousands and thousands of years. If you really truly want to investigate this and research this, you will find this out. You are the sky. You are the observer. In the words of St. Francis of Assisi, the thing that you're looking for, the thing that you're looking for is the one that is looking. It's not outside. It's in here. It's not outside. It's in here. You come to that place of discovery. You strip away all the BS. You strip away all the temporary, all the ephemeral things that you've been identifying with your whole life, and you will come to find that this thing is a beautiful thing, this thing called life, and that you're a part of it. You're a part of the universe. You're a part of every living molecule. We truly are stardust. And there's no need to hate. There's no need to judge. And then everything becomes this beautiful play, this beautiful dance. You can really just, your whole entire being becomes lighter. You literally can float on water. It feels that way. Discover who you truly are. Strip away the ephemeral. You are the sky. You're not the clouds that come and go. You're not the storms that come and go. You're not the hailstorms. You're not the lightning. You're not the thunder. Right? I'm being very metaphorical here. Here's my writing professor coming out. Thank you so much, Luis. That means the world to me that you're watching this and you're getting any value from this. Thank you. It means everything to me. Luis knows. Sean knows. What is it that is ephemeral in nature? What is it that is temporary? And can the temporary exist? So even the thought of who you think you are, I am Professor Nez, right? Writer, author, writing professor, and speaker. Even that individual, or I am not this, or I am not that, or I am going to be this, or I am just a male, I am just a father, I am just a human. Even these thoughts of who you think you are, you're even bigger than that. You're even bigger than that. So what's the result of this discovery? Am I going to become, and watch how the mind comes in. Watch how the eternal bluffer, right, the eternal doubter, he's going to come in and he's going to try to undermine your investigation. He's going to try to undermine your inquiry. Oh, no, everything's going great in your life right now. If you start to do this sort of questioning and investigation, you're going to become this sort of invalid. You're going to become this sort of bum who has no desire and has no goals. Boy, he's an amazing politician. He's the ultimate persuader. He is the ultimate salesman. Okay, this guy that lives inside here. Don't buy what he's selling. Don't give him any business. He cannot exist without you being there first. Who are the you that is there before a thought comes? Who is the you that is there before a cloud comes? You are the sky. Discover this. Not only will nothing happen, detrimental, that the mind will kind of conceive and make you think you believe, but life becomes this beautiful dance. Life becomes this beautiful play. And things start to open up. Beautiful things start to happen. Everything loses its sort of tightness. Everything loses its sort of seriousness. And there is this beautiful fragrance of true core to the core, if you want to call it. It's not even, I don't even think joy or happiness doesn't even come there. But as Aristotle says, that only then, when you truly discover who you are, okay, only then will you become a master. And neither friend nor foe can touch you. Doesn't mean you don't have feelings. I mean, it's interesting. The mind's going to come in and say, you're going to become one of these hobos. You're going to become, even in my case, oh my God, you're nothing. What do you mean? You don't identify with being an author? You don't identify being a professor? You don't identify being a father? You don't identify being a male? Then what are you? You're nothing. The void. The mind will conjure all sorts of things. This dude right here is an unbelievable storyteller. But you don't have to buy all the stories. And if you truly discover that none of those stories would exist without you being there first, wow, a beautiful thing. You're here before thought. You're here before feeling. The only way that feelings, sensations, anxiety, depression, joy, identity, the only capacity for them to exist is because you were there first. That's the only way that they exist. That's the only way that they'll conjure. But don't take my word for it. Don't listen to me. You investigate for yourself. You find this out on your own. That's the only way it's going to truly have experiential. You got to make that conviction for yourself. You got to discover this for yourself. If you're sick and tired of being shackled, being handcuffed by this dude, you have to truly want it. You don't need an antidepressant. It's not going to happen in 2 days. It's not going to happen in a 7-week course. It's not going to happen in a year. This takes practice. This takes reminding yourself. I said it in the last episode of Mindset Live that human beings have an unbelievable, permanent temporary amnesia. We forget things so easily. We forget things all the time. We forget to be grateful. We forget the things that we have. We constantly want what's next, next, next. We blink and then we turn 90 and then we wonder what the hell happened to our lives. You are the sky. Discover this. And then life becomes this beautiful dance, this beautiful play. Things lose, those temporary things lose their heaviness, lose their weight. And that's truly where anxiety, that's where fear, that's where chaos, distortion, disorientation, that's where they live and breathe, is in the identity, the way that you identify, you, consciousness, identify with those temporary clouds. You are the sky. You are the reason that the whole shebang exists. Discover this. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it. I think I might start ending all my broadcasts with the wonderful holy quote, the holy maxim by Walt Whitman. Dismiss everything you hear in church. Dismiss everything you hear in the news. Dismiss everything you see. Dismiss every classroom. Dismiss every professor. Dismiss anything that insults your soul. If it doesn't jive with you, you're going to be just fine because, again, life is the ultimate professor. You're going to be just fine not listening to this broadcast. You're going to be just fine thinking, this guy's cuckoo, cuckoo. This guy's a nutbag. What does he know about anything? You're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. Thank you, Luis. Yes, you are master of your domain, but truly it's up to you to realize that. And that takes time, and time is a very valuable thing that we overlook. Gosh, beautiful. Perfect, Luis. Thank you so much. That is absolutely beautiful. Perfect. Discover this, Nez Nation. Discover this. I want everybody to succeed. I'm not in my studio right now, so I apologize if the lighting... This was just an impromptu. I had to get this off my chest. I've been a little bit reticent to talk about a lot of this stuff, things that really truly internally have given me such a cause for inspiration and motivation and transformation, more importantly. This thing is an amazing thing, this thing called life. It's amazing. These mediums that exist today, this way of connecting with people, it just blows me away how beautiful it is, and you can use this for beautiful quality. So again, discover this for yourself. All of these pointings are practical, anchored in reality tools that you can use. I hope that this has value for you. All of these things that we discussed today are not intellectual. This is not intellectual vomit, okay? This is not theory. This must be experiential in nature. It must be experiential, meaning you need to put it to use, practical use. Thank you so much for watching. It absolutely means the world to me. If you think that you got any value of this, I would love it if you'd share it. Share it with your various channels and share it with on Facebook, share it on YouTube. It would mean the world to me. Comment. I will come back. I have to go to a meeting and then I'm going out of town today. So I won't be jumping on social media too much today. I will be back later tonight. Late tonight I'll actually be back. And if you're wondering what the day is, it's January 16th. It's Martin Luther King Day. I can't think of a more powerful day to really, trust yourself. And I think that Martin Luther King was the emblem, really, of, standing up and finally taking a stand and saying, enough is enough. I'm going to stop being tortured by you. I'm going to stop living as a prisoner to you. I'm going to stop listening to everything that you tell me I can't do. His favorite word is can't. His favorite word is can't. He is not the landlord. You are the landlord. He's just an uninvited house guest. You need to hand him the pink slip. You need to evict him immediately. I can't think of a better day than Martin Luther King Jr. Day. What a perfect time. What a perfect, glorious day to wake up. I wish you nothing but the best, Nez Nation. I wish you nothing but success. Thank you so much for watching. It absolutely means the world to me. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much, guys. It means the world.